Hi, I'm Kelly. Thanks so much for tuning in to this office series. Today we're going to be working on hands and wrists if you're at a keyboard a lot, or if you're using iPhones all the time. This has a really big impact on our hands and our wrists. So we'll start in this seated position and we'll stretch our right hand out. And you're just going to start from the little finger and just start to stretch the little finger down, come right to the root of your ring finger and stretch down, and you might even feel it all the way through the front of your arm. So just stretching this middle finger and your index finger and your thumb, and then stretching the whole of the hand and just really releasing serious stuff like repetitive strain injury. This can help that, and it's a really common thing that you find if you work in an office. And I always say to people, just do this throughout the day. Just set an Outlook reminder. Click there. If your fingers click, that's okay. Just working through each finger, noticing what the other fingers do, their reaction as you work through the other fingers, and then the whole of the hand back. Lovely, and then we're going to come onto all fours. We've got the lovely Shiva in front, just showing exactly how to rest. And from here, I want you to really work the space in between each finger and the thumb, and just feel whether you're pressing down evenly through each part of the knuckles. And just lift the wrists a little bit and just slide the fingers to the knuckles down. And then we'll start to rotate. So as I stretch my left hand, I just bring the weight gently into the right, and I start from the fingertips, and I'm going to slide the hand down. And I'm trying not to really drop into my wrist here, so I'm sliding down and then sliding from the fingers down. And just keep working the hands so that your fingers start to point towards the knees. And do this really slowly. And you can see I'm really trying to lift from here. And for some of you, maybe you're not even turning this much, and that's okay. It depends on how much rotation you've got throughout the other joints. And then when you get here, maybe you can even start to bring the weight back and then come back up. And the aim is to really try and move the thumb away from the index finger. So when you get here, the hands are going to want to start to clench up, and you want that thumb to move away. And then slowly turning all the way back. And then when you get back to the center, we're now going to turn inwards. And again, trying to work the thumb away from the index finger, keeping the wrists and the shoulders hip distance apart. And just seeing, maybe some of you can get even further than this. And then come all the way back. Lovely. And you can do each of these poses. You don't need to do them all in this one video. So this is like a toolbox. And if you just have 2 minutes, you can just do one of these 3. You don't have to do all of them in one go. So now I would suggest grabbing a belt. I've got a proper yoga belt here, but even if you use something like a dressing gown lead, a pair of tights, one of those kind of physio bands, that's absolutely fine. We're going to start with our right hand. So we put the belt on the trapezius muscle, so that's this muscle, and we want that to move down. So we put the belt around the right shoulder, and you can see that I'm really working the belt right up to the corner of the neck and the shoulder. And then we're going to stand up and bring our right hand to the wall. So we want the thumb to face up and the fingers to point away. And you can see here that my wrist and my elbow and my shoulder is in line. And I'm really trying to roll the shoulder away from the ears, and I grip the belt with my left hand. So both pieces of the belt in your left hand, and you have this action of moving the belt away towards the left hip without dropping into this lower back. So we need to keep the feet together and lift the front groins as we stretch the right arm out. So pull the belt towards the left, open this right armpit chest, stretch the right fingers away from you, and then keep the hips and the heels in line as you turn out, turn out, turn out. And you want to feel it from your fingertips all the way up to your shoulder. Keep lifting the front groins, and you can stay here for a few breaths, and it's really intense. And then we'll swap sides. So we need to bring the belt over the left shoulder now, making sure that it's not on the shoulder here, that you're really working the belt into the corner where the neck and the shoulder connect, so that we can open this whole armpit chest. And then I'm going to turn my back to you, heels together, lift the front hips. You can see my right hand is really pulling the belt towards the right hip, and I make sure that my left hand, wrist, elbow, shoulder are in line. So stretch the left fingers away from you, and your left thumb is pointing up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to turn. So keep lifting. As you turn, I don't want you to drop into the lower back. You pull the right arm, lift the chest, turn. And you might get a different sensation this side to the other. That's completely normal. And just keep turning, lifting the front hips and turn. Keep the shoulder in the joint. So don't stretch away from the wall and don't push towards the wall. And then turn back to the center. And then you can just do some simple shoulder rolls back and shoulder rolls forwards. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This was all about our wrists and anti-technology for our hands, our forearms, our shoulder health. We're working in our office series throughout each part of the body that the desk affects our habitual posture and the health of our body. So please check out the other videos. They're just 10 minutes. They're super easy and accessible for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe for more series, and I hope to see you on the mat again soon. Thanks, goodbye.